testimonials. I didn't put ads on this. Cool Kids Club testimonials.
Wait, why did we know? And we
Part
need
one.
ads. We need ads. We need revenue.
All right. This first segment is sponsored by my PayPal account, which is I don't even know what it is. No, do we have ads? Do we have ads?
I don't know.
Rob, what's your company's name?
I think we did.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll try it with
Alright,
my phone.
you guys. So, I, as you know, partied a little bit too hard this weekend. And you all saw me get taken away in an ambulance. And somehow I made it back here. It's very convoluted. But that's kind of the story of my life, you know? Just like very reckless, convoluted situations, which makes me think of GameStop. And where I was almost 2 years ago. You know where I was. I was at home. And I was looking around me and I saw my brother, John. And John pulled me aside and he said, "Listen, Sarah, I know that you have some debt. But guess what? You can basically just gamble and pay it off." And I was like, well, shit, I mean, I'm not paying this off anytime soon, so that sounds like a really good idea. And so he was like, look, I'm part of this Reddit group. It's called Wall Street Bets. You know, like, you can make money selling Tesla calls. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. So I actually did make a little bit of money selling Tesla calls. Meanwhile, I was just like, you know, making the minimum payments on my debt, no savings, just like, hey, look, I turned $20 into $35. I'm a real winner here. And so this went on for a while, and I just wasn't really getting anywhere, and I got burned pretty bad on a company called Purple. Purple was a mattress company that Wall Street Bets was hyping up, and I was like, okay, well, I made money selling Tesla calls, so I'm going to make some money selling Purple calls. I did not make any money selling Purple calls. And the only reason I could do options trading was because I had Robinhood. And Robinhood will just let you do whatever you want. They do not care. And you can do things that you should not be allowed to do. And I did those things, okay?
We knew where it was going.
I did those things. So, let's see, I guess it was December-ish in 2020, and the Reddit starts talking about GameStop, and my brother John is like, Sarah, I know you've been away from the trading thing because you haven't really been making any money, and like you're not really a trader and you have no idea what you're doing, but GameStop, I guarantee this one's gonna pay off. Just like go all in on it. It'll like I wouldn't tell everyone this, but you seem like you could really use the help, and like this one, I just know this one is gonna work. And I was like, oh man, I just don't have any capital to invest. But I had some credit cards, and I was like, well shoot, I'm already in debt. So I was like, how big of a cash advance can I take on these? And I was able to take like $1,500 cash advance. I was like, sweet, I am so close to being maxed out now, but I've got capital to invest in GameStop. And I went on Reddit, I was like, look, he's right, they're all talking about it.
Wait, never mind.
I was like, all right, this is going right in my Robinhood account. So I put that like $1,500 in my Robinhood account, and I was like, okay, well, obviously I should buy weekly calls. Everyone says it's gonna go to $60 like this week, and they're all saying that's the next important level. I had no idea what that meant. It was like, well, they're all talking about it, and my brother said this is guaranteed to pay off. So I'm gonna buy 10 $65 calls that expire this Friday for $65 strike price. Okay, guaranteed to pay off. So it was getting very close to Friday.
This was Thursday. When I bought these.
And I was like, John. John, you know, I don't know, John, this might be it for me. I might have to
Literally.
like, I mean, I was like all or nothing on this, but, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry, Sarah, like, I don't, and then out of nowhere, the price just took off. And I saw that $1,500 turn into $6,000, and I was like, oh shit, and I sold as fast as I could. And I was like, John, I did it. I made money with these calls, and I shouldn't have. And I've heard people talking about investing before, and I've never heard them tell anyone to do this. But this is what I did, and now I have this money, so I'm like, so what should I do? And I was like, I should buy shares. I should put all of that back into it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I think I was able to buy like 100 shares even. And I was like, okay, all right. And I was like, John, how high do you think it's gonna go? And he's like, Sarah's gonna be infinite. He's like, Sarah, you don't understand. They shorted this thing, blah, blah, blah. They have to pay. They are required by law to pay. And I was like, well, they're required by law to pay. That means we're going to be filthy rich. So I bought those shares, and I was like, waiting. And then, meanwhile, you know, I was like, man, what if he's wrong? What if it's not infinite? And I was like, okay. I will cash out when I have enough to cover my debt and pay the taxes on the capital gains. And that number is big, and I'm not comfortable sharing it, so I'm not going to. So, I wanted to make sure I reached it, and I was like, Robinhood scares me, but it does have this option for margin. And I don't want to keep this long term because this is scary, and clearly this is a way for them to get all of the money in your account. But I'm just going to go ahead and turn this thing on.
Yeah.
So I turned on margin and doubled my shares. And that January, you know, everything was revving up, and then one day in particular, and you know that day, the price was just climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. I was like, holy shit. So I got halfway to my goal, and I was like, I need to get rid of this margin right now before this thing gets ripped out from under me and I lose everything. So I sold the 100 shares, and then I waited, and I turned off margin, and right at like $375 a share, I was like, oh, that's the amount of money I need. It's right there in my account. And I sold the rest of them. And I won. I won.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Stay tuned for part 2 because, you know, I kept living my life. And, you know, I think someone else should have a turn, and I'm going to seriously consider sharing more or not. All right. Who's next? Who's next?
I did feel like stealing though that day, didn't it? A little bit.
I don't really have a
No, I decided that that the world had fucked me over, and so I was allowed to take as much as I wanted. So I didn't feel like stealing. It felt like vindication, and I was like, okay, it's fine.
I felt like,
Yeah.
that's too much money. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So, you know, you guys seem very content sitting there. You all look so comfortable.
I feel like this is the Sarah show whenever I'm
Yeah.
I know, right?
I'm tuning in. I'm watching this every week.
Basta, tell us your story. You're up.
Basta, it's your turn, Basta. It is. I'm gonna go get my cranberry juice. See, I have to keep drinking cranberry juice because I got blackout drunk 2 nights ago. And if I don't stop drinking cranberry juice, then I will never recover.
Will you bring me one more vodka?
I need more vodka. I'm like,
It's vodka cran. And
Oh,
I've
no.
said one off since the other.
no, I already drank all the cranberry juice. All that's left is in my cup. Anyway, alright, Basta, come on.
I have no story.
Oh! Alright, that was very short. Basta has no story.
Brady has a story.
Brady!
Well, I'll tell you guys my story
Alright.
because I have no story. So,
Yeah.
so I was late to the party. And, like I was super late to the party where I thought I was catching a bounce, and I only bought like 2 shares or something at $2.70, and it didn't fucking bounce, and it kept falling, and so I just have only a handful of shares in my account. Talking to myself if I watch this back. That'll probably likely just to be like a permanent stain forever, to remind me to do a little bit more research. But I didn't even know about MOS. I didn't. It wasn't until I found you guys, and I was like, oh, this thing could fucking rip. I was like, sweet. I bought a few more, and they're not doing anything either. So, so that's my story. I didn't win, but congratulations, Sarah. If you won, that's a real.
Alright, she said she needs sunglasses to tell her story.
I don't want to dox myself.
You're fine.
They're
Well,
sunglasses.
this better stay, in our Discord. This doesn't need to go to, what?
I don't trust the people
I'm
in our
talking about-
Discord.
So I played with a couple $100 and I didn't
Would
win.
never go
But I
straight
had
past
no
that.
idea that, of the whole backstory. I was like, oh, this thing had really good momentum. This thing's gonna fucking, no. Then
Didn't
it
happen.
didn't come back. It flopped. It was a fucking flopper.
A flopper.
I think my first buy was at 320.
Your first
I
one?
was
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Oh,
We bought it
wow.
370 something.
Oh, wow.
Well, we had more before. Did we have more before that, or was that our first?
Put your vagina
No.
away though.
We had
No, I
more
know my-
before
I know my
that.
vagina.
Well, okay,
You
wait,
said
but
before you didn't want to
did
dox
anybody
yourself.
see
Oh, that's true. The
HKD?
vagina's a dead giveaway.
Right.
What if I place orders?
Like,
What if somebody wants a
fuck,
vagina?
dude.
Well-
like,
Oh wait, they can hear us right now, can't
I
they?
gotta
Oh,
remember
shit.
just keep $1,000 on hand for
Right.
a fucking big one. Because like, that happened. And I was watching it happen. I was like, man, I'm a fucking bad
What
guy.
happened to HKD?
It went from like a couple bucks to 12, like 1,200
What,
to
like
2,500.
what, recently, like last week?
6 months ago, maybe,
Oh.
yeah, 6 months ago or something like that. And it happened within a matter of a few days. And it was,
Is this on? Testing?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I've had a long weekend.
Oh, it's
My
not-
voice is a little
it's not
scratchy, so
streaming.
bear with me. I'm
Wait, it's not streaming.
Um,
Oh, there it is. Okay.
it should
I'm
still.
protecting my identity because we all know that I do not want to be doxxed. I don't want anybody to know that I'm a man who can't from Chattanooga, Tennessee. So please just keep it under wraps. Let's keep it cool, people, because you know there's some weirdos out there in our Discord, and I'm looking at them all. Nothing but freaking weirdos on Discord, okay? So my story is, I went on a family trip with a great family, just as a guest, and I stopped and bought groceries because they weren't really paid for anything. And it was 4th of July, so I bought a lot of groceries for it. It was a big house, a big family, but I wanted to contribute. Well, the mother insisted on, she wrote me a check for $2,000, and I said, I don't want it. No, that was my contribution. It was 2 weeks up in the mountains. No, I'm not taking it. She insisted, so she gives me this check, and I've got a 15-year-old, just like 15-year-olds do, running a freaking mountain 99.7. And I said, okay, fine, I'll put this in my account, and Dallas, you can have this for your car. So this was in November of 2020. And so I put it in my account, and she showed zero interest in the $2,000. Keep in mind, she's turning 16 in February. So, you're not going to get much for $2,000. And I said, why don't you get on TikTok? Get on TikTok, because you like that shit. Get on there and pick one out. So she came back, and she said, I want $2,000 worth of GameStop. She had no clue. I had no clue, and I was like, are you serious? I was thinking about that shitty store at the bottom of the mountain. I was like, this is what TikTok came up with? Geniuses on that show. Or whatever that was at the time. So I bought her $2,000 worth of GameStop in November of 2020. We sold it January 15th. We sold half of it But she got a little used Jeep Cherokee for $17,000 off of her 2,000 plus I had. But now keep in mind, at this point, not only did she get a car, but I also realized that I was a goddamn genius. Honest. Clearly, I'm an investing genius. I don't know why I'm down the street and no one's talking to me. Because did you just see what I just did? I bought a car in like 4 weeks. It's like taking candy from babies. Just let them cry. They'll get over it. Yeah, so then I got real smart and started doing some investing on my own. And that didn't go so well. Did not go so well at all. And then I realized that I was not a genius. I realized I didn't have a fucking clue. I really didn't know my ass from my hole in the ground. And then somehow I started following Rocky 18 months ago, and then GME I think 14 months ago. And I've been following ever since, and I'm in the class. I'm still an idiot. And I keep learning every day that I'm actually getting dumber because every day I realize I'm so it's not really that rewarding right now because I'm still stupid. Nope, got dumber again today. But not getting up. So that's my story, and I'm here now. That's it. Rob, I mean, you're not in timeout anymore. Come on.
So here. While we're waiting for Rob to wiggle out of his chair after after all of his feelings. I will say though, I really do. If you guys are still traders, I'm totally in. I'm totally in. I have decided that this is what I'm gonna do with my life. So it's really good to see.
I don't have a story.
Well, I don't have a story either. My
That's
story is
her
not
story.
I really, I thought I was gonna go to like 5. I thought I was gonna go to 500 from 3 or 270, whatever.
Yeah.
I go, oh, it's gonna bounce. I go, I'll double my money. I'll get like $200 for it, and then I'll figure something else out. And like a few weeks later, people are like, oh, it's gonna go to $1 million. I was like, $1 million? I was like, so I just kept holding it instead of taking the loss, and at this point, it's more of like, that's my reminder.
You have.
No, just
No, you have, but that's okay.
We don't actually have to. I mean, that was a good story.
Thank
It was
you.
a very good
Cool.
story.
So that's why you were like, this fucking toilet, I don't care. I bought it. Because I remember you were like, shoot, like regular just clothes. You're like, yeah, I'm fixing the toilet in like street clothes. This is what I do.
Yeah.
Is it toilet or bidet though? I thought I heard bidet.
I was like, I might put like sweatpants on if I was doing something like that. So she can't get a little, she's got like these nice boots on. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Again, you're
This
gonna
is
get to hear it again.
this is
never
GameStop
heard it.
Anonymous.
I never heard it.
Hi, my name is Sasha, and I have a problem.
Hi, my name is Sasha. I bought GameStop, and it went up.
Fuck yeah! Yeah, good job.
That was really good.
Kim,
It's like Jay Leno or whatever.
Kim,
Or
let's go.
Oh God, I don't remember our whole story.
You told me it today.
No, that wasn't. I mean,
Oh, that
that
was
was
more-
just an inkling.
We'll stay.
start with
We'll
the
get
intro.
up there and just go.
Oh my God, I can
Do you
talk
need the
in
wig?
front
Do you need the wig?
of a class of children. We
Not
are
much
not.
different.
This is the
Perfect room.
The only difference here is the children are drunk.
Honey,
So wait,
no.
are we convinced it's not gonna go to like $1,000? Because I'll
No.
still take a
No,
couple dollars. It's
I'm not
never gonna.
convinced.
It's never gonna happen.
No, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna definitely
Oh,
happen.
okay. Well then I'll keep. I have a handful.
GameStop could definitely go to $1,000. Maybe a bazillion.
Or is that something that the winners already say? They're like, yeah, dude.
No, I'm a little
We are golden.
I did not realize that Brady had 12,000 harmonicas up here. It's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot.
Do you need me and Sasha to get our spoons? For the
Yeah,
next
that's
one?
what we want to do. We want to play spoons.
Dude,
We did it last night. Do you remember?
have you guys ever played the game of spoons? This is in Minnesota.
I fucking love spoons.
Yeah, where are you from?
Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, well, northern.
Michael.
Northern Rome.
Kim, go.
Oh my
What?
God.
You can't make us.
You
I've got my glasses on and I don't know
Now
my
I feel like
story.
Look at me.
I do know my
Shit.
story, but I don't know my story, and I.
We'll just make it.
Why
What's
did I buy
up with
100
this?
HTV?
That's our name ever. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. It's like,
Oh.
this is money sitting there.
This is so not me, children.
Yes,
Where's my chalkboard?
Just pretend like we're like all four.
We have GME, and we have and a few others that we're still working on. Don't smile at me. Go away. And so anyway, we started out listening to Ape Andy, Warden, but Ape Andy decided to tell everybody to check out Jamie at Trade Spotting and Rocky Akra. So we did, and the rest is pretty much history. I met all you fine folks, children. Here we are, a weekend, 10 hours from home. We drove and are in a house with people we only know on the internet. But now we know much better.
How many people like
So-
this there are?
Oh, dude.
Do what?
I mean, there's
Yeah.
millions.
Right on.
Yes.
That's it, yeah.
All over the world.
This is our story.
Yeah,
This
globally.
is the fucking shit. Yeah, absolutely.
So we're all still holding,
Mhm.
and we'll hold. Have not sold one. I'm not gonna until
Yeah, it's good, my friend.
life changing. We got this, guys. It's all good.
Can I tell y'all Kieran's story?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just posted it. Yeah, he just posted it.
Aw.
My story is actually that my best friend's husband told me about GameStop in like November of that year. And before, I don't even know what year that was. I feel like it's been 84 years.
Right?
And then, so I sold it at 300 or 350.
I bought those.
And then I bought.
Thank you for buying those.
And then I bought back in at like 150. So that's cool. Kieran says, "Shit." Oh wait, I should
Shit,
tell
oh,
my
wait.
family. Telling your story.
Jimmy, put him in timeout.
You probably already did.
No, I can't. Get some Discord.
Here it says, sharing a story here, because I can. So my buddy Patrick had made a bet. I need contacts. My buddy Patrick had made a bet with me and our friends that if GameStop didn't moon in 12 months, he would buy back our shares from us and get us all a beer. He found this Scottish guy who shouts about stomps and is really entertaining. And after watching for a couple of weeks, I took him up on his bet. He lost the bet, but none of us took up his offer to buy our shares back off us because we are here for the long haul now. I have him to thank for getting involved and wanting to understand what was going down. Getting to know everyone mainly to see how legit this GME thing really was, but ended up with a whole bunch more, and we are all still holding, buying support along the way. Bing bong, friends.
Yay,
Kieran! My love's so high.
Get high so low.
This is where Brady HD comes in handy because I got something to say just right off the bat. So, and then part of my little story is I was in a dentist chair and had like commented for like the first time on, or not the chair, but in the waiting room. I was in the dentist waiting room, and I said something, or no, it happened. It started at the house. Whatever. It happened on my way to the dentist. This is it. And I had tuned into Rocky's show and commented, which I never do. I'm like not a YouTube person at all because like I do the thing and then and then people don't show up. It's like so I commented and then Rocky's like, "Hey, let's check you out." At first he thought I had PBS numbers. I do not have PBS numbers. He accidentally clicked on the link to the PBS channel. He's like, "Oh yeah, you got like 70,000 followers, dude. Like, good job." I was like, "No." that would be nice. I like tried to explain that and there was no explaining. And then but somehow found the song and then sang the song And I was like, this is actually happening. People are saying hi to me on the internet. I've never had. The dentist is giving me that look like, get off your phone. So then I was like, all right, cool. There's real people on the internet. Like YouTube always seemed like there's nothing like YouTube, right? I love YouTube. I'll watch the most intense and serious like debates and shit, and then read comments that say like, "You're from Bro Dog 69 up the ass." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, about this very intellectual. It's a street name, right? Yeah. That's your street name. Sounds it. Yeah, you guys get what I'm saying? It's just like one of these things. Like, YouTube is great for that. So I never commented. It's like not a chance. And then I did, and that was cool. No, I'm actually, and then what I learned was that stocks were interesting to me. I saw Rocky explain shit, and I go, exactly. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. Like it's, you know, and I was like, oh, yeah. So, I don't know.
Pretty awesome.
Boss,
Let's do it again.
How crazy is it
Who's
to
got
meet
another
like all
story?
these people through that though? Like,
you don't have a story about how you ended up here from fucking Finland?
Wait,
here.
Vasa, come on, man. Give us a little story. No?
Any story.
Any story.
Any story. You do a quick one. 30 seconds or less. We'll put a time limit on it.
I don't know.
No, it's been decided.
Do you want us to bring the microphone to you? Do you need a shot of that horrible black liquor?
Maybe do both.
Shot of both.
Come on,
It's
Hey, I sang better after drinking it. It might be the cure.
I'm getting my voice back. I'm gonna start singing any minute.
Oh, please do.
Oh, liquid. You're gonna wait.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah, that a boy.
Oh,
My best friend posted to on one of those.
okay.
I bought like a bunch of CDs from them, you know, like I'm trying to find shit to buy. So
What, 50%
I
on
tell
cards?
it that, like,
That is literally the worst thing ever.
it is just, it's total. When we went to Germany, it was like,
Stunk.
that was like their shot.
I can't not drink it though. That's weird. It's like oddly addicted.
You have to have it.
I know.
Should we make one? That's good.
No.
So this
Wait. So here, I'll throw this out to this is the, you know. So, I am more, I'm like of the attention span that I need to. I have really good focus when I'm hyper focused on something that's hyper interesting to me. So a trade is very interesting to me. So staying on the trade, watching the scanners, and doing my amateur technical and novice technical analysis is very engaging to me on a daily basis. And when I find the time again to be able to do that, probably hopefully within 12 months for me, I'll be day trading on a regular. How about you? Or is this like we're waiting for the next best HKD? Because I can do that too. Like if we're on the hunt and the people,
My goal is to be trading for a living.
my ear is
Yeah,
like
I
to the
For the
ground.
next 3 to 5 years. Probably
Yeah.
3.
That's like
If I can get good at it.
that's a realistic goal I think for myself too. That from what I'm hoping, but I do tend to hold on to like hope. I'm like, this one will come back. No, I got a 30% loser. That's
I have
Fuck.
a lot of those.
yeah. You can't.
I
Yeah.
think we all do. I
You gotta-
think the mix stuff.
I have to cut
My
this.
biggest problem is holding on things too long. It's always been my problem.
Yeah.
of doing what?
Holding too long.
Yeah,
Like I'll be in the right direction, but then I wait too long and it
I
goes
think
nowhere.
I'll
Yeah.
freak out.
It's always been the biggest thing.
Well, here I am justifying it to myself. I'll put like $100 into something, and I'll be like, 8%. You know, cool. I've made 8%. That's fantastic. But I'm looking for that 20% winner because of all the times that I've watched my shit go from whatever to 35 negative. I'm like, okay, so it goes this way very easily. Why is it okay? So I got to figure out the momentum. Right? Take the small winners, those 4 and 8%. Fuck yeah.
My favorite thing I did is I bought this stock for, I think it was called CHFS
Yeah.
back in, I don't know what year, 2008 or 9 or something. And I was sure it was going up because I read an article that said it.
Right, sure.
Was it written by Motley Fool?
I think it might have been.
Yeah,
It was
probably.
like one of my first things I bought.
Did Kim Driver cover it on?
And I was, well, it went up, and of course I didn't sell it because I was like, well, maybe it'll go up more. And then I was still holding it until it got delisted.
Hey, good to meet you,
But the
man.
funny part about it was like,
Good
I
stuff,
could
man.
have sold it when it
Good
went
job.
up.
You
to
made it
like
all the way here.
$1
You've been
on GameStop.
on GameStop, dude. Fucking
And I
good job.
didn't. I kept thinking, well, maybe it'll go up a little more. Maybe it'll go up a little more. But then it
So you're not
went the other
gonna-
direction. And then when it's down, you're like, well, it'll go up again. But it never did. So I guess the moral of that story is like, it won't always go back up, whatever you buy. You know, you're not guaranteed. It's never going to go back up.
But,
I will say,
I
I've
forgot,
learned a
yeah,
lot.
so if something happens, it would be nice,
I've learned a
but
lot. Like small
I gave it away.
Basically,
People like
I
that.
was gonna say,
I do, but I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are.
Oh, yeah.
maybe it does have a bit of gravity to it where it does.
I got lucky.
It does.
Not that long ago, actually.
Which of course,
I
might
still have like
curriculum.
but it,
Oh,
you
no.
do
a bunch
hope
of
it.
Robin
I do
Hood
have
ones.
Because you do
curriculum.
see
And I ordered this.
Don't make me wait 3 months.
Where's your planner?
I see the good idea, I see what's happening, it's
I
gonna
just have
spike,
one.
it's gonna do the
I mean,
fact
well,
that
I
like
see
6
where
weeks
they
later,
should.
then it doesn't, then back on solar.
But
It
then
was
once I
exactly
got
That's
what
the
out
best
of
idea,
college,
like, that happens a couple of
And I
times, it's
sold it,
happened.
cause I wasn't even following it at the time, I was like, well,
they're not
it's
like.
gone up to like 29, I'm like, wow, I'll dump it, you know.
I think Boss is going to maybe test us somehow.
You think
Yeah,
Rocky
yeah,
did?
yeah.
Yeah, somebody else did.
Come on, Buster Bear.
Oh yeah, he said you can hide behind I'm not a cat mask. Oh yeah. You can cover his children's face over here.
Nobody brought up the guy who stuck the banana. She don't know about it.
You do.
She don't know
Oh
nothing.
no.
There was literally a guy called Rick.
By popular demand,
Showing positive.
Vasta.
Basta, basta. Good man.
Definitely take a picture.
Go for
I'll be
it, just move it
forced
around.
to
Yeah,
tell
go.
the story.
Sorry, there were short people before you.
Yeah, the story is kind of so like some of us have had same kind of thing that buying like with quite a high price.
Welcome to the club.
But yeah, then it kept coming down and I've been just buying more and more every now and then. So
And then he bought the company.
yeah, I guess so. That's the reality quite soon.
Yeah. He's still holding it, or any of it?
Uh, yeah, I haven't sold anything.
Oh, none?
Wow.
None?
None.
Oh my God.
I'm
Buster's
pissed.
a whale. You're a purist. He's a purist. Fundamentalist.
Tell us how you made these amazing friends.
Oh yeah. That's another story.
I'm just telling you you're
Well, yeah, I had quite a long journey here, but it's been so fun being here, so it's been all worth it.
And who's your favorite person?
Such an American thing to say.
Keep in mind, you're gonna be in New York with me for 5 years. How well do you want this to go, buddy?
Do you
I
want your
gotta
head
say,
on a stick?
Come
it
on.
must be.
That's too funny.
I'm not a cat face man. Head
Yeah.
stick.
I am not a cat.
Yes, yes, I'm not a cat.
It's true. It's true.
Yep. This just goes to prove how global we are. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
that's right.
everywhere.
Yep.
We are everywhere. We're
We
like
are
STDs.
everywhere.
It's a learning trade. And hopefully one day can
Like an STD.
do it for my living.
For sure. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
The goal. Basta. Good man.
Total miles.
Rob,
kill it, boss.
What were the total miles?
Yeah, Rob,
12,000.
Rob, get on the mic.
Basta
and tell us.
traveled. Yeah, what was it?
Tell us on
Rob, get on the mic and tell us.
Oh,
You're not in timeout anymore. Rob, nobody's watching but us.
You can just like say it from
You know,
there,
we're all
or
gonna be
he's like, I'm not even gonna
famous
talk in the
someday.
microphone. He's like,
Yeah.
I forgot we were fucking talking in the
Okay, how many
internet.
miles is it?
It was 12,900.
12,900?
And Vasta flew
Miles.
4,600.
4,600 of it, I think it was.
Wow.
Good man.
Crazy.
12,000?
Cheers, man. And he brought all that candy.
He added, Rob added
Yeah,
up
He
all
hauled
our
all that
miles
here.
to come to this weekend to come see Brady and Ray. 12,900 miles we traveled. Well, I would walk 12,900 miles.
Vasta flew 4,600.
Hey, that's your
Just to be there.
Well, shall we pause the video?
I bought 3
Yeah.
Yeah, let's.
And I was
Let's
back in
get
Nashville.
Perhaps a part two
Let's get-
later.
Frat bros,
Baby Pearl
shots to do
2.0.
that song.
No, I can
Oh
just.
my
Yeah,
God.
we need to get the rest of Sarah's story.
Oh, God.
Shit show.
How many parts are there?
Take
We
one.
gotta know for it.
You wanna
It's
do
a
it now?
series.
It depends.
It's a
Sarah, you
series.
just want to do it now?
There's like
My part two. Do you guys want to know about my
Yeah.
shit
there's
show?
6 people here that I have not heard their
Yeah.
story
There's 6 people here that are not.
Now remember when you guys watch this back, if you ever do.
yet. Yeah, and Voss is gonna do it every minute.
But I can't comment, so I'm not commenting because it's not funny.
Oh, I should be commenting.
So everyone's like,
Hit like,
She
hit like.
wants the mic up a little higher.
Or lower.
yeah, move it around. Go ahead.
Oh, part 2. Oh, shit, part 2.
Yeah, that's good.
I think there's gonna
Sarah
be like a
part
part
the-
7, 8.
Well, I said you could stand by for part 2, and I was not gonna do a part 2 because, like, life is hard. Okay.
Why is it funny when you just say words?
That's a mystery that has followed me my entire life.
This is you should TikTok your comedy, my dear.
I told her
She definitely should.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I am an impressionable young lady.
How impressionable are you? Wait.
You know what? This is difficult because the thing is, like, life is ongoing, right? It's hard to say where part 2 begins exactly. I did not get into this thing like thinking I'm going to hold GameStop and I'm going to like fuck the hedgies. I was like, oh sweet, I'm gonna pay off my debt. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna be in and out, and I'm never gonna trade ever again. But for some reason, I started to continue to listen to people on Reddit talk about how we could still get them because they turned off the buy button and we can still get them. And at that point, I was like, yeah, we're gonna get them. I was like, yeah, we're gonna get them. I was like, fuck them. I got all the money I need to pay off my debt, but you know what? He turned off the buy button.
Stick it to the man.
She just found her calling us convenient.
So it was like, okay. So, like an elephant in a china shop, I pulled all of the money out of Robinhood because fuck Robinhood. But I did not transfer the cash from one brokerage to another. I just pulled it out right in Robinhood. Do you know what that costs in taxes? That's like 1/4. Go I will put that 1/4 in a high interest bank account because my lawyer sister said that was a good idea. That won't be touching at all. I'm going to put it there and I will have it to pay off my taxes. I was like, great. Okay, what am I going to do with the rest of this? I was like, pay off the debt. Fine. I was like, I'll pay off the debt. So I was like, all right. This credit card's 0, that credit card's 0, this credit card's 0, oh, that's so nice, it all says 0. Oh, it's all just numbers on a screen. And I'm like, we have to fuck the hedgies. How can I sit here with all zeros on my screen when the hedgies are being unfucked right now?
Oh my god.
And I was like, and maybe infinity hasn't happened yet, but it still can. Okay, so I'm like, I'll just put some of this cash back in. I had a little bit left over. I was like, okay. And I was like, this isn't nearly as many shares as I had before when I was just using like a cash advance. Like this is like a poor person's amount of shares. This is like shares. Yeah, and at that point I was using Fidelity, and I was like, well, look at me, I'm like a real trader now. And I'm like, look, they won't even let me use options unless I apply. This is legit.
Thank God.
Yeah, right.
And things honestly get a little fuzzy at this point. Because oddly enough, I made a trade that increased my portfolio value by like 10 grand, and I honestly don't know how that happened, but I was like, this is just like, this is like child's play. Well, what am I doing with all of my tax money in this high interest account when I can make this trade that it will be like 10,000%? So, pull from there. And then it was just like watching the account go up and down. It was like watching a dude play an accordion. 60 grand, 30 grand, 60 grand, 30 grand. And I was like, okay. Well, I mean, that's just what happens, right? It fluctuates. That's fine. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, I need to fix my car. Better use my credit cards. And this continued. And the accordion man did not stop playing. And then I began to wonder if maybe I should do a little research and figure out what I'm doing. Because I'm like, actually, objectively, I'm dealing with pretty large sums of money here. And so, like, personally, like, I don't really understand what that means. Like, I've just done my job. I deliver pizzas. I've made sandwiches. I'll clean your house. I don't give a shit. So, like, I've always had debt. Like, you know, that you just get used to it. It's like, I know I have debt, so, okay. And I was like, alright, so I typed into YouTube, live stream GameStop, and I hit go. And I found The Masked Investor. And I started watching, and it was fun. This guy was like, alright guys, we want to see a big volume candle, come on, any moment, we're going to see a big volume candle. I was like, yes, we're going to see a big volume candle, and that's what we need to see. And then I'd be like, yes.
And then you played Boom Boom Candles.
Boom Boom Candles! Boom Boom Candles! Yes! Like, I was like, this is it, this is fun. I was like shouting to everyone. I was like, hey guys, Boom Boom Candles! Hey guys, green candle, guys! Oh my gosh! It was really fun. But then his stream ended. I was like, no Boom Boom Candles. So I looked for more live streams. And I stumbled upon Trade Spotting, and I was like, look at this asshole. like, I guess there's probably something going on here. So I was like, well, I've got to drive my work van. I will just play this in my work van while I'm driving. I was like, I can't fucking hear it. So I would turn it up. I was like, is he saying Boom Boom Candles? And I'm turning it up. The golden pocket of is 2.6. And fuck anybody who disagrees with me. I was out there driving, having heart attacks, almost crashing my work vehicle. Because this guy was just yelling. I would say, whoa, I didn't realize how sleepy I was until I woke up. And then I was like, okay, well, actually, I mean, I see that the candles are there. Like, he's not saying Boom Boom Candles. Like, other things that might be important. Alright, so I started tuning in every day, like, oh, I understood what another word was today. Okay, great. And I'm not even looking. I'm just driving, and I'm like, yeah. And it was fun. It was fun.
Fibonacci.
Yeah. I was like, okay, we can do this. And then I was like, oh, he has a brother. Also has a YouTube channel. I was like, oh, okay. So they're teaching technical analysis? Oh my gosh. You mean you can actually like read this shit in like a television? Oh no, I've been doing this completely wrong.
By the way, we changed that last night to Fibonacci.
It's been snatching now.
It's been snatching out. So yeah, so I started to try a little bit to like know what was going on, and like I was very fickle with like how many shares am I gonna hold, taking it out, put it back in, like am I gonna have money to pay my taxes, am I not gonna have money to pay my taxes? I'm just like all over the place, and my debt-o-meter is going back up again, and I'm like, fuck. Why did I find the masked investor first? That was fun. But I have no perspective. I think money might actually affect my life. And so, this is where part 2 gets a little fuzzy again. And like, weird shit happened. And now I'm like straddling this awkward situation where it's like, you know what? I can just work and pay my debt back down. That was my plan in the first place. I never had to get involved with GameStop, but I still have shares, and I don't want to let them go because it could free up like maybe 8 months of my life if I just sold, put it back on the debt, work it down. And I'm like, oh, I'm still gonna be grinding for like 2 years, and it's like I can just hold a little longer and keep paying attention and not let this affect my mental state. And I've come a long way, and I've learned a lot. And there's a lot more to learn, and I learn that every day there's more to learn.
Fuck yeah, Sarah.
Every day there's more to learn. And I have more hope for the future now, because I've been in this position before. I've seen myself be completely irresponsible, disconnected, disassociated, like wandering the world, purposeless. And now it's like, well, maybe I can actually learn something useful and apply it. And I care about that more than what my financial status is today. And, you know, that will serve me for the rest of my life, so I don't give up. Yes, I do impulsive things, and I have to self-monitor, and I have a very difficult personality to manage, and I've learned that managing your personality is part of trading. So.
Fucking, yeah.
So here I am in Minneapolis, Minnesota,
Yep.
with all you random ass people from all around the world,
Your new best friends.
all my new best friends, and this is maybe the coolest experience of my whole life, and I'm having a lot of fun. And we've got our whole lives ahead of us, so this is gonna be great. So, okay,
Part 2 maybe coming up.
Part 2.